Have you ever wondered why some runners suddenly pull away, even when everything seems perfect in a twin flame connection? Why do they retreat at the very moment intimacy deepens? Today we're diving into a phenomenon known in the twin flame world as soul shock, an overwhelming surge of energy that can send a runner fleeing, and why it happens. At first it might sound dramatic, but this isn't just a metaphor. Soul shock is a real energetic event, a collision of two souls that triggers intense physiological and emotional reactions. To understand it fully, we need to look at what's happening on three levels: the spiritual, the emotional, and the physical. 1. What is soul shock? Soul shock occurs when a chaser and a runner encounter an energy surge so powerful that it temporarily overwhelms the runner's nervous system. Imagine two strong magnets suddenly being pulled together. The force can be so intense that one of them snaps back. That's what happens on a soul level. The runner experiences a sudden, uncontrollable rush of energy, often accompanied by fear, anxiety, and a sense of losing themselves. It's not uncommon for runners to describe this as feeling like they're being pulled out of their comfort zone at a speed they cannot manage. Their mind screams for safety, while their heart is caught in a deep, inexplicable connection. The clash between what their soul desires and what their ego fears creates a shockwave of energy, hence the term soul shock. 2. How soul shock manifests physically. Many chasers think that runners are simply cold or emotionally unavailable, but the truth is far more complex. When a runner experiences soul shock, their body reacts as though it's in danger. Adrenaline spikes. The sudden surge of connection causes their body to enter a fight or flight mode. Heart rate increases, palms sweat, and breathing becomes shallow. Cortisol release. Stress hormones flood the system, creating tension, restlessness, and sometimes even nausea. Energy overload. The runner feels physically drained or overstimulated, as though their entire energy field is vibrating out of control. This is why some runners may appear distant or act impulsively. Their body is literally trying to protect them from being consumed by the intensity of the connection. 3. The emotional impact. Emotionally, soul shock can be equally dramatic. A runner may suddenly feel fear of vulnerability. Deep connections force them to face emotions they've suppressed for years. Fear of loss of control. The intensity of the twin flame energy can make them feel trapped or manipulated, even when the chaser's intentions are pure. Internal conflict. Their soul craves union, yet their ego resists, creating a mental tug-of-war. This internal conflict is often why the runner's behavior seems inconsistent. One moment drawn in, the next pulling away. The chaser might feel rejected or confused, but the runner's retreat is a protective mechanism, not a rejection of love itself. 4. Why runners run? So, what exactly makes a runner flee? It often comes down to three main fears. 1. Fear of losing freedom. Even if they deeply care, runners may equate intense connection with loss of independence. 2. Fear of emotional pain. Soul shock can bring buried traumas to the surface, making them fear emotional vulnerability. 3. Fear of change. The energy of a twin flame connection can disrupt old patterns, forcing a transformation that feels unsafe. Think of it like this. If a runner's life has been a calm pond, soul shock is a sudden storm. Their instinct is to retreat to familiar waters, even if the storm brings beauty and growth. 5. Recognizing soul shock in action. For chasers, understanding soul shock is crucial. Signs that your twin flame is experiencing this energy shock include sudden withdrawal or silence without explanation, mixed signals like affection one moment and distance the next, heightened emotional reactions, such as irritability or defensiveness, avoidance of deep conversations or moments of connection. By recognizing these signs, chasers can respond with compassion instead of frustration, creating a safer energetic space for the runner to process the experience. 6. The opportunity hidden in soul shock. While soul shock might feel alarming, it is also an opportunity for growth. This intense energy forces both the runner and the chaser to confront unresolved fears, heal old wounds, and expand their emotional capacity. For runners, it's a chance to build courage and learn to stay present with intense emotions. For chasers, it's an exercise in patience, empathy, and non-attachment. In essence, soul shock acts like a catalyst for spiritual evolution. It's uncomfortable, Yes, but it propels the connection to a deeper level. 7 practical tips to navigate soul shock. Even though soul shock can't be fully prevented, there are strategies for handling it. Breathwork. Deep, mindful breathing helps regulate the nervous system and calm the mind. Energy boundaries. Chasers can maintain a strong, grounded energy without overwhelming the runner. Gentle patience. Allowing the runner space without judgment or pressure creates safety. Reflection. Both partners can journal or meditate to process the surge of emotions. The key is not to fight the shock, but to navigate it with awareness and compassion. 8. The bigger picture. Understanding soul shock transforms the narrative from, "Why did they leave me?" to "What is this energy trying to teach us?" The runner's flight is not a failure. It's a message that growth, healing, and deep connection require courage and timing. Twin flame connections are often intense because they are mirrors. Soul shock is a mirror of the deepest fears and the potential for transformation. When both sides learn to ride the wave instead of resisting it, the connection strengthens and becomes profoundly rewarding. Ask yourself, have I felt this sudden surge of connection that scared me? What was my reaction? Reflecting on your own experiences with intensity, fear, and growth can help you empathize with the runner and understand your own soul's journey. In this first chapter, we've explored what soul shock is, why runners flee, and how this energy manifests in both body and mind. Remember, soul shock is not a rejection. It's an awakening. It's a reminder that deep, meaningful connections require courage, understanding, and compassion. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into how chasers can support runners through soul shock, practical techniques to balance energy, and stories of real-life transformations. Stay tuned because understanding this phenomenon could change the way you experience love forever. In the previous chapter, we explored what soul shock is, how it manifests, and why runners often flee when faced with this overwhelming energetic connection. Now the focus shifts to the chaser, the one who remains present, often feeling confused, rejected, or desperate when the runner suddenly pulls away. Supporting a runner through soul shock is not about persuasion or force. It's about understanding, compassion, and energetic alignment. Let's break this down into practical steps, emotional insights, and real-life examples. 1. Understanding the runner's fear. The first and most critical step for a chaser is understanding why the runner is reacting this way. Recall that soul shock triggers a fight or flight response in the runner's body. Their nervous system is flooded with adrenaline and cortisol. Their heart races, and their energy field feels overloaded. From the chaser's perspective, this might feel like rejection. You may wonder, why are they leaving when everything feels right? But it's essential to remember that the runner is not leaving because of a lack of love. They are leaving because their body and mind are overwhelmed by intense energetic sensations they cannot yet integrate. The chaser's role then is to become a calm, grounding presence. Rather than reacting with frustration or panic, understand that the runner's flight is an instinctive, protective mechanism. 2. Patience as a superpower. One of the most challenging lessons for chasers is patience. It's easy to want to fix the situation, to reach out repeatedly, or to demand answers. However, soul shock requires a space of gentle patience. Patience means allowing silence. Resist the urge to constantly communicate. Giving the runner breathing room can prevent further energetic overwhelm. Avoiding judgment. Understand that the runner's actions are not personal attacks. Their fear is rooted in energy, past traumas, and ego survival mechanisms. Trusting the process. Twin flame journeys are rarely linear. Recognize that periods of distance are often necessary for integration and growth. Think of patience as the foundation for trust. When the runner feels that there is no pressure, they are more likely to eventually return and face the connection with courage. 3. Maintaining energetic grounding. Grounding is one of the most effective tools for chasers. If you remain emotionally reactive, anxious, or desperate, your energy can inadvertently intensify the runner's fear, pushing them further away. To maintain grounding, breathwork. Deep, rhythmic breathing helps calm the nervous system. Try inhaling for 4 counts, holding for 4, exhaling for 4, and pausing for 4. This simple square breathing technique can stabilize your energy. Meditation. Visualize yourself rooted like a tree, sending calm energy both to yourself and to the runner. Body awareness. Notice tension in your shoulders, jaw, or chest. Gently release it to maintain balance. By staying grounded, the chaser creates a stable, energetic container, which allows the runner to return to the connection without feeling trapped. 4. Communication without pressure. Effective communication during a soul shock episode is subtle but powerful. Direct confrontation or emotional pleas can overwhelm the runner further. Instead, focus on clarity. Short, honest messages that express care without expectation. For example, I respect your space and am here when you're ready. Empathy. Acknowledge their fear without judgment. You might say, I understand this feels intense for you, and I'm not going anywhere. Open-ended invitations. Encourage them to reconnect when ready rather than demanding immediate engagement. The goal is to communicate safety and patience without adding pressure. This reassures the runner that the connection is a sanctuary, not a trap. 5. Using energy healing techniques. Many chasers find that energy healing can help maintain balance and gently influence the energetic environment of the connection. Techniques include visualization. Imagine a protective, golden energy around the runner that shields them from overwhelm while allowing love to flow. Heart-centered energy work. Focus on sending calm, stable energy from your heart chakra to theirs. Grounding exercises together. If possible, activities like walking in nature, shared meditation, or synchronized breathing can help harmonize energies without forcing proximity. These practices are not about manipulation. They are about co-creating a safe, energetic space that supports integration. 6. Recognizing the signs before flight. A skilled chaser learns to recognize the early signs of soul shock in the runner. This proactive awareness can prevent abrupt retreats and reduce emotional turbulence. Signs may include increased emotional sensitivity or irritability, subtle withdrawal from deeper conversations, physical restlessness or avoidance behaviors, lingering doubt or hesitation about connection. By noticing these signs, the chaser can respond with gentle patience, supportive communication, and energy grounding rather than reacting emotionally. 7. Real-life example. Supporting without pushing. Consider Sarah, a chaser, and Mark, her runner. Mark began pulling away whenever their connection deepened. Sarah initially responded by calling and messaging frequently, which only intensified Mark's fear. Once Sarah learned about soul shock, she changed her approach. She allowed space without guilt. She sent occasional short messages expressing understanding. She practiced daily grounding and meditation to remain calm. Over time, Mark felt safe enough to re-engage. By the time he returned fully, their connection was more balanced, conscious, and resilient. This example illustrates that supporting a runner through soul shock requires discipline, empathy, and emotional mastery, not control or coercion. 8. Self-care for the chaser. Chasers often neglect themselves while focusing on the runner. Maintaining personal well-being is crucial because anxiety or emotional instability can exacerbate the runner's fear. Balanced energy allows for clearer perception and more compassionate action. Self-care models healthy boundaries and emotional resilience. Self-care practices may include journaling and reflecting on emotional responses, physical activity to release stress, engaging in hobbies or creative outlets, spending time with supportive friends or mentors. By prioritizing their own health, chasers create a vibrational resonance that encourages the runner to feel safe and open to return. 9. Transforming soul shock into growth. Soul shock doesn't have to be a moment of trauma. It can become a catalyst for transformation. Both the chaser and runner are pushed to confront their deepest fears and patterns. When navigated consciously, the runner learns emotional regulation and courage to face intensity. The chaser develops patience, empathy, and self-mastery. The connection evolves into a conscious, energetic union, rather than a chaotic push-and-pull dynamic. Remember, every flight or retreat carries a lesson. The key is to remain present, grounded, and compassionate. Transformation happens not by forcing the runner back, but by holding space for healing. Ask yourself as a chaser, am I reacting to fear, or am I responding with calm awareness? Do I provide safety and patience or pressure and urgency? Am I practicing my own grounding and self-care consistently? The answers to these questions guide your ability to support the runner through soul shock. The journey of a twin flame connection is not just about union. It's about mutual growth, energetic harmony, and spiritual evolution. If you implement these strategies, you may notice a profound shift in your connection. Soul shock is no longer a threat, but a gateway to deeper intimacy and conscious love. In the first 2 chapters, we explored what soul shock is, why runners often flee, and how chasers can hold space to support them. Now, in Chapter 3, we take it a step further. Here, we focus on practical strategies and exercises that both chasers and runners can use to navigate this powerful energetic phenomenon together, transforming fear into connection and overwhelm into growth. Soul shock can feel like a storm ripping through your energy field. Chaotic, intense, and sometimes frightening. But just as a storm nourishes the earth, these surges of energy can fertilize your spiritual and emotional growth, if approached with awareness and intention. 1. The twin flame energy dynamic. Before diving into practices, it's important to understand the energetic interplay between chaser and runner. Twin flame connections operate on a high frequency level, meaning energy is exchanged constantly, often unconsciously. When the chaser remains calm and grounded, they emit a stabilizing frequency. When the runner feels overwhelmed, their flight response is activated, sometimes abruptly. Soul shock occurs when this energy exchange is too intense for the runner's nervous system or energetic field to integrate. Understanding this dynamic helps both parties approach the connection consciously, rather than reacting out of fear or frustration. 2. Grounding together. One of the most effective ways to navigate soul shock is through shared grounding practices. These exercises help both chaser and runner stay present and balanced, even when the energy is intense. Practical exercise. Twin flame grounding meditation. 1. Sit facing each other or in proximity where energy can flow naturally. 2. Close your eyes and take slow, deep breaths, inhaling for 4 counts and exhaling for 4. 3. Visualize roots extending from your feet into the earth, anchoring you firmly. 4. Imagine a protective light surrounding your body, expanding outward to create a stable, energetic field. 5. Send calm, loving energy from your heart to your twin flame, without expectation or attachment. 6. Continue for 10 to 15 minutes, noticing how the energy between you shifts and stabilizes. This practice allows the runner to feel safe and supported, while the chaser maintains calm and presence. Over time, repeated practice strengthens the connection, reducing the intensity of future soul shock episodes. 3. Breathwork for energy regulation. Both chasers and runners benefit tremendously from conscious breathwork, which helps regulate the nervous system and manage overwhelming energy surges. Technique: coherent breathing. Inhale deeply for 5 to 6 seconds, filling your lungs completely. Hold briefly, then exhale slowly for 5 to 6 seconds. Focus on the rhythm and allow tension to melt away with each exhale. Practicing coherent breathing together or individually can reduce fear, anxiety, and reactive energy, making soul shock more manageable. The runner experiences less panic, and the chaser can maintain steady support without emotional overwhelm. 4. Establishing energetic boundaries. Energetic boundaries are crucial. Soul shock occurs partly because the runner feels emotionally and energetically flooded. Chasers can support without triggering further fear by respecting boundaries. Guidelines for boundaries. Physical distance. Allow the runner space when needed, even if only temporarily. Energetic distance. Avoid sending anxious or clingy energy. Ground yourself before reaching out. Emotional boundaries. Accept the runner's need for space without taking it personally. Boundaries are not walls. They are protective shields that maintain connection while preventing overwhelm. Think of them as a container for love, not a barrier. 5. Mirror work and shadow integration. Soul shock often triggers old wounds and shadow aspects in both chaser and runner. These are unconscious fears and patterns that need conscious recognition. Practice twin flame mirror exercise. 1. Each partner sits quietly, reflecting on emotions that arise during soul shock. 2. Identify triggers: jealousy, fear of loss, abandonment, or inadequacy. 3. Share observations with empathy, not blame. When I feel intense energy, I notice fear arises in me, and I need space to process. 4. Recognize that the other person's reactions may be mirrors of your own shadow. This exercise promotes emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and mutual understanding, reducing the likelihood of miscommunication or energetic escalation during soul shock episodes. 6. Using journaling as a twin flame tool. Journaling is a subtle but powerful way to process soul shock experiences. Both chaser and runner can maintain separate or shared journals. Journaling prompts: what emotions did I feel during our recent energy surge? What fears or memories did this connection trigger? How did my body react, and what does it tell me about my energy limits? What support or space do I need to integrate this energy safely? By externalizing thoughts and feelings, both partners clarify their experiences, avoid projection, and reduce the intensity of emotional reactions. 7 real-life example. From flight to conscious return. Consider Mia, a runner, and Liam, her chaser. Mia repeatedly pulled away during deep emotional exchanges, leaving Liam frustrated. Both decided to try conscious practices. They established a grounding meditation routine every morning. Liam focused on breathwork and self-care to maintain calm energy. Mia practiced journaling to understand her fear responses. They communicated in short, non-demanding messages, respecting each other's boundaries. Over weeks, Mia began to recognize her triggers and tolerate the energy of their connection. Liam, by staying grounded and patient, became a source of safety rather than pressure. Eventually, their bond deepened into conscious, stable union, illustrating how intentional practices can transform soul shock into growth. 8. Embracing soul shock as growth. Both chasers and runners must shift perspective. Soul shock is not a curse but a gateway to transformation. The intensity that causes fear is the same intensity that fosters emotional maturity. Confronting fear teaches resilience. Energetic balance. Learning to regulate energy improves connection quality. Spiritual evolution. Facing soul shock challenges old patterns and supports deeper soul alignment. Rather than avoiding or resisting, consciously navigating these surges allows the twin flame journey to evolve into conscious, intentional love. 9. Encouraging mindfulness in daily life. Soul shock is more manageable when both partners practice daily mindfulness. Small, consistent habits strengthen nervous system regulation and emotional awareness. Morning meditation or breathwork to start the day grounded. Mindful movement such as yoga or tai chi to release stagnant energy. Checking in with emotions throughout the day rather than suppressing them. Positive visualization of calm, safe, and loving energy exchange. These habits ensure that energy surges, when they occur, are less chaotic and more integrated, allowing connection to deepen rather than fracture. Soul shock is an inevitable part of intense twin flame connections, but it does not have to be destructive. When approached with awareness, grounding, and compassion, it becomes a powerful tool for growth and conscious union. Both chasers and runners can transform fear into connection by practicing grounding and breathwork, respecting energetic boundaries, engaging in journaling and mirror work, supporting each other without pressure. Remember, this journey is not about perfection but presence, patience, and conscious energy exchange. The more both partners integrate these practices, the less intimidating soul shock becomes, and the more profound the connection grows. If you found these strategies helpful, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your experiences in the comments below. Together we can navigate the highs and lows of twin flame connections with awareness, love, and courage. In the previous chapters we explored what soul shock is, why it occurs, and how both chasers and runners can navigate it together. But one of the most powerful tools in this journey is awareness. Recognizing the early signs of soul shock can prevent unnecessary conflict, ease fear, and create a safer energetic environment for both partners. By understanding these cues, chasers can act with calmness and compassion, while runners can anticipate their own reactions and process them consciously. This chapter dives into the subtle signals, physical and emotional indicators, and strategies for preparation. 1. Why early recognition matters. Soul shock is often sudden, but it rarely comes without subtle warnings. If ignored, these early signs can escalate, leading to abrupt withdrawal, misunderstandings, and emotional strain. Awareness offers several benefits. Prevents escalation. Recognizing triggers allows both partners to pause and recalibrate. Maintains connection. Small interventions can keep the energy safe, preventing full flight. Promotes self-mastery. Observing signs strengthens emotional intelligence and energetic discipline. The first step is to learn to notice patterns and subtle cues before the shock becomes overwhelming. 2. Emotional indicators of impending soul shock. Emotions are often the first signals that the runner is approaching a soul shock moment. Chasers should pay attention to increased irritability or restlessness. Even small disagreements may spark disproportionate reactions. Sudden anxiety or tension. The runner may seem internally agitated, as if something invisible is pressing on them. Withdrawal or emotional distancing. They might respond less to messages, speak less during conversations, or appear preoccupied. Confusion about feelings. The runner may express love one moment and fear the next, reflecting inner conflict. Chasers should view these indicators not as rejection, but as a call for grounding, patience, and empathetic support. 3. Physical signs in the body. Because soul shock is an energetic and physiological phenomenon, the body often gives clues before emotional or behavioral signals become obvious. Some physical signs to watch for include tense muscles and posture, shoulders tight, jaw clenched or restless movement, shallow or irregular breathing. The nervous system is preparing for a fight or flight response. Sudden fatigue or withdrawal gestures. The runner may slump, yawn excessively, or seek space without explanation. Restlessness or fidgeting. Energy is being channeled outwards in small, uncontrolled movements. These bodily cues are subtle yet crucial. When noticed early, a chaser can respond with grounding energy, rather than inadvertently adding pressure. 4. Energetic cues, the subtle vibrations. For those attuned to energy, soul shock can be detected as shifts in vibrational patterns. While not everyone perceives energy this way consciously, some common signs include a sudden sense of tension in the shared space, feeling drained or unbalanced after interaction, experiencing emotional projection from the runner, mirroring unresolved fears, a push-pull sensation in connection intensity. Recognizing these energetic cues allows both chaser and runner to adjust boundaries and practices before the energy reaches a breaking point. 5. Behavioral red flags. Alongside emotional, physical, and energetic signs, behavior is a practical signal that soul shock may be approaching. Inconsistent communication, delays in responding or vague messages, avoidance of deep conversation, steering away from topics that could trigger emotional intensity, increased need for personal space, seeking solitude or withdrawing from shared activities, testing boundaries subtly, pushing or resisting intimacy to gauge safety. Behavioral patterns are often the final warning before full withdrawal, and responding calmly can prevent the cycle of fear and flight. 6. The runner's inner experience. It's vital for chasers to empathize with the runner's internal world. When early signs appear, the runner may feel overstimulation. The energetic connection feels too intense to process. Fear of vulnerability. The closeness triggers deep-seated fears of loss, rejection, or inadequacy. Conflicted desires. Wanting connection but fearing emotional surrender. Overwhelm from mirror effects. Being forced to confront unresolved shadow aspects reflected by the chaser. Understanding these internal experiences transforms perceived rejection into a signal for compassionate space and support. 7. Preparing both sides for the shock. Preparation is key. Both chasers and runners can take proactive measures to reduce the intensity of soul shock and increase the likelihood of conscious connection. For chasers, practice daily grounding exercises. Maintain emotional boundaries and avoid overreacting. Develop mindfulness practices to stay present without judgment. Engage in self-care to stabilize energy before connecting. For runners, cultivate self-awareness to notice triggers and rising fear. Use breathwork to regulate the nervous system. Journal emotional and energetic experiences to integrate them. Practice gentle exposure to intensity, gradually increasing tolerance. Preparation is not about controlling the connection. It's about creating a safe, energetic environment for both souls to meet consciously. 8. Early intervention strategies. When early signs appear, subtle interventions can prevent the escalation of soul shock. Short grounding check-ins. A brief message expressing understanding without pressure. Guided meditation or breathwork together. Even 5 minutes can stabilize energy. Temporary space with reassurance. Communicate that distance is okay, but the connection remains safe. Energy visualization. Sending calm, protective energy to each other to ease nervous system stress. These strategies are preemptive, not reactive, allowing the runner to integrate energy without feeling trapped or overwhelmed. 9. Real-life example. Recognizing early warnings. Consider Alex a chaser and Jordan a runner. Jordan often became withdrawn after intense emotional conversations. By observing early signs, shallow breathing, vague responses, and subtle restlessness, Alex implemented preemptive strategies. Practice grounding meditation before calls. Sent short, compassionate messages acknowledging Jordan's space. Maintain self-care and calm presence instead of panic or repeated questioning. As a result, Jordan was able to process energy surges without abrupt flight, and the connection grew stronger, more conscious, and more resilient. 10. Embracing awareness as a tool for growth. Recognizing early signs of soul shock is not just a practical strategy, it's also a spiritual practice. Awareness allows both chasers and runners to respond consciously instead of reacting emotionally, reduce unnecessary energetic drama, strengthen mutual trust and safety, transform fear into an opportunity for integration and growth. By viewing soul shock as a teacher rather than an obstacle, twin flames can navigate the highs and lows of their connection with grace and consciousness. Ask yourself, am I attuned to subtle emotional, physical, and energetic signs in my twin flame connection? Do I respond with patience, grounding, and compassion, or with fear and reactivity? Am I practicing self-awareness and energy regulation daily? If you can answer these questions honestly, you are equipped to face soul shock consciously, reducing fear and strengthening the bond between you and your twin flame. Remember, awareness is power. Recognizing the early signs is the first step toward navigating soul shock with grace, turning potential flight into conscious union. In the previous chapters, we explored what soul shock is, why it happens, and how to recognize early signs to prevent escalation. But even with awareness and preparation, there are times when the runner will still retreat. Chapter 5 focuses on what happens after the flight, how chasers can heal, maintain energetic balance, and prepare for the next phase of connection. Understanding this stage is critical because the moments following a runner's flight can either strengthen the bond or trigger fear, attachment, and resistance that prolong the cycle of separation. 1. Accepting the flight. The first and most important step is acceptance. The runner's withdrawal is not a personal rejection. It is a response to the intensity of soul shock and their own internal fears. Chasers may experience confusion. Why did they leave when everything seemed perfect? Fear. Will they ever return? Emotional pain. Feelings of abandonment or inadequacy. Acceptance means recognizing that these reactions are natural, but choosing not to act on panic or desperation. Instead, it's an opportunity to cultivate emotional resilience and maintain a grounded presence. 2. The emotional processing phase. Once the runner has retreated, chasers often feel a surge of emotions. This is a critical time for self-reflection and emotional processing. Identify emotions. Journaling or verbal reflection helps separate fear, sadness, or frustration from intuition and rational thought. Understand triggers. Why does the flight evoke such strong reactions? Often it mirrors past experiences, unresolved trauma, or attachment patterns. Practice compassion. Shift the perspective from "they left me" to "they needed space to integrate intense energy." By processing emotions consciously, the chaser prevents emotional baggage from affecting the next phase of connection. 3. Grounding and energy restoration. After a flight, the chaser's energy can be depleted. Maintaining energetic balance is essential for stability and future interactions. Practical energy restoration techniques. 1. Nature immersion. Walk barefoot on grass, sit near trees, or spend time in sunlight to absorb grounding energy. 2. Meditation and breath work. Focus on deep diaphragmatic breathing to release accumulated tension. 3. Visualization. Imagine a protective and healing light filling your body, repairing energy disruptions caused by the flight. 4. Movement. Gentle yoga, stretching, or mindful exercise helps release stuck energy and restores flow. Energetic restoration ensures the chaser remains calm, balanced, and receptive, rather than reactive or desperate. 4. Self-care as a strategic tool. Chasers often overlook self-care during the post-flight phase. Prioritizing personal well-being is not indulgence. It is strategic preparation for future connection. Physical care. Adequate sleep, balanced nutrition, and hydration support emotional stability. Emotional care. Engage in creative outlets, journaling, or therapy to process lingering feelings. Spiritual care. Meditation, prayer, or mindfulness practices maintain connection with your higher self and purpose. Self-care strengthens resilience, allowing the chaser to respond to the runner's eventual return from a place of calm and centered energy. 5. Reflecting on patterns. After a flight, it is vital to reflect on recurring patterns. Did the flight happen after particularly intense emotional or spiritual exchanges? Were there early signs that were missed? How did the chaser react, and did that reaction affect the outcome? Reflection allows both chaser and runner to learn from each cycle, increasing awareness and improving the ability to handle future energy surges. 6. Releasing attachment and cultivating trust. Attachment and fear are natural human reactions, but they can amplify soul shock if not consciously managed. Chasers are encouraged to practice non-attachment, love without controlling outcomes. Accept that the runner's flight is part of their integration process. Trust. Believe in the natural timing of the connection, and that both souls are evolving on their own path. Surrender. Let go of the need to fix or manage the runner's reactions. This mindset transforms post-flight anxiety into empowerment and spiritual growth. 7. Preparing for the next phase of connection. Even after a flight, the journey is not over. Both chaser and runner have opportunities to return to connection more conscious and aligned. Preparation involves 1. Energy strengthening. Maintain grounding, meditation, and protective energy practices. 2. Emotional readiness. Process fear, attachment, and reactive emotions. 3. Intentional communication. Plan to reach out with empathy and respect when the runner is ready. 4. Personal growth. Continue healing, learning, and expanding your capacity for love and understanding. These steps ensure that the next encounter is less reactive, more conscious, and more sustainable. 8. Healing exercises for chasers. Practical exercises help chasers navigate post-flight energy and emotions effectively. Mirror work. Reflect on personal triggers and shadow aspects revealed by the flight. Affirmations. Repeat empowering statements such as, "I am whole on my own. I trust the timing of our connection." Journaling. Document lessons learned from the cycle and intentions for the next interaction. Visualization. Picture the runner returning safely, while maintaining your own energy field. These practices help the chaser release fear, maintain sovereignty, and radiate stable energy, which supports the eventual reunion. 9. Real-life example. From separation to conscious reunion. Consider Emma, a chaser, and Ryan, her runner. Ryan often retreated after intense connection sessions. Emma initially reacted with anxiety and constant messaging, which prolonged the separation. After learning about post-flight healing, she practiced daily grounding and meditation, focused on self-care, journaling, and emotional reflection, sent minimal, compassionate messages respecting Ryan's space. Visualize the connection returning harmoniously. Within weeks, Ryan returned from his retreat with greater emotional awareness, and their bond deepened into conscious, balanced connection. This example demonstrates that post-flight healing is not passive waiting. It is active preparation, emotional mastery, and energetic alignment. 10. Reframing flight as an opportunity. The key takeaway is to reframe the runner's flight. Instead of seeing it as failure, rejection, or loss, view it as a signal for both souls to integrate intense energy, a chance for the chaser to practice patience, self-mastery, and non-attachment. a natural phase in the twin flame journey that strengthens the bond over time. By adopting this perspective, soul shock and the subsequent flight become transformational rather than traumatic. Ask yourself as a chaser, am I allowing myself to heal and restore energy after the runner's flight? Am I practicing non-attachment and trust? Have I reflected on patterns and lessons from this cycle? If the answer is yes, you are prepared to face future energy surges with calm, clarity, and conscious presence. Healing after a flight is not the end. It is preparation for a more conscious, harmonious, and spiritually aligned connection. Remember, the runner's retreat is temporary when approached with awareness, compassion, and energetic sovereignty. Your healing and presence are magnetic forces, paving the way for conscious reunion. Soul shock is not just a moment of collapse. It is a mirror reflecting the energetic gaps, inner fears, and emotional fractures between both souls. After the initial shock, retreat, and healing phase, the journey naturally moves into a crucial chapter: building energy resilience. Energy resilience is the ability of both runner and chaser to handle the intensity of the twin flame bond without panicking, collapsing, or running away. This chapter explores how each counterpart can elevate their energetic capacity, strengthen emotional foundations, and prepare for deep, stable, long-term connection. 1. What is energy resilience in a twin flame dynamic? Energy resilience is the strength of your energetic field, your capacity to absorb, regulate, and maintain coherence during emotional or spiritual intensity. Twin flame connections carry an energy so powerful that ordinary emotional coping mechanisms often fail. This is why one soul becomes the runner and the other the chaser. It is not about love but about capacity. Energy resilience means staying present instead of shutting down, processing emotions instead of resisting them, grounding energy instead of letting it spiral, allowing love to flow instead of fearing it. Without energy resilience, both souls experience overload. With it, the connection can evolve into harmony, stability, and genuine union. 2. Why the twin flame connection demands higher energetic capacity. Twin flames share a single energetic blueprint, two separate experiences housed inside one greater soul structure. When they interact, the energy is amplified, mirrored, and intensified. This intensity breaks illusions, forcing both souls to confront their truth, dissolves ego defense systems, triggers unresolved emotional wounds, accelerates spiritual awakening. Ordinary relationships rarely push individuals into this territory. Twin flame connections require elevated energetic capacity because the bond is not meant to remain at a low frequency. The stronger the resilience, the easier it becomes for both parties to handle emotional depth, intimacy, and spiritual merging. 3. The runner's path to energy resilience. Runners often deny, avoid, or fear the connection not because of a lack of love, but because the energy feels overwhelming. Soul shock in a runner may look like shaking, sweating, heart racing, a sudden urge to escape, emotional shutdown or dissociation, fear of losing identity or control, panic when intimacy deepens, explosive withdrawal after moments of closeness. To build resilience, a runner must gradually strengthen their emotional and energetic capacity instead of fleeing from intensity. Key steps for runner energy strengthening. 1. Acknowledging the fear instead of running from it. Fear loses power when it is faced rather than avoided. Runner healing begins with admitting, I am overwhelmed, but I don't need to run from this. 2. Learning nervous system regulation. Most of the runner's retreat comes from fight or flight activation. Regulating the nervous system helps them stay present during intensity. Techniques include slow breathing, grounding touch, hands on chest or abdomen, cold water immersion, mindful movement, walking, stretching. 3. Rewriting beliefs about love. Many runners fear loss of individuality, being controlled, repeating past trauma, expressing vulnerability. A resilient runner replaces fear-based beliefs with truth-based understanding. 4. Gradual exposure to emotional intimacy. Instead of avoiding closeness entirely, runners can practice small steps, short but honest conversations, allowing themselves to feel instead of suppressing, facing discomfort with curiosity instead of panic. 5. recognizing the chaser as a mirror, not a threat. The moment a runner sees that the chaser represents their own unhealed parts, the fear softens and energy resilience rises. 4. The chaser's path to energy resilience. Chasers appear emotionally stronger, but they also experience soul shock, just with different expressions. Anxiety when the runner withdraws, overthinking and emotional overwhelm, intense longing or attachment, difficulty balancing energies, fear of abandonment or rejection. Chasers must strengthen their energy so they no longer react from fear or attachment, allowing the connection to stabilize. Key steps for chaser energy strengthening. 1. Emotional independence. A chaser's resilience grows exponentially when they stop relying on the runner's presence for emotional stability. Affirmation. I am complete on my own. Our connection is a privilege, not a dependency. 2. Grounding and self-worth. Many chasers overgive, overinvest, or self-sacrifice. True resilience comes from balanced giving and receiving. 3. Learning to hold energetic space. Instead of chasing movement, the chaser can learn to stay open, stay loving, stay centered, stay non-reactive, without pushing the runner into further retreat. 4. Regulating the heart chakra. Overactive heart energy overwhelms the runner. Balancing this chakra through breathwork, meditation, and boundaries helps stabilize the connection. 5. Embodying the energy of safety. When the chaser becomes a grounding presence instead of an emotional storm, the runner naturally feels safer to return. 5. The shared path, building resilience together. Despite different outward reactions, both runner and chaser are ultimately on the same journey. They both must learn grounding, emotional processing, energy regulation, self-awareness, patience, non-attachment, authenticity. Here are shared practices that raise mutual energetic capacity. Shared practice 1. Mirror meditation. Both sit, energetically or physically, with the intention, I see myself in you. Breathing deeply, each acknowledges the shared field. Shared practice 2. Heart coherence breathing. Inhaling through the heart, exhaling through the heart. This stabilizes the energetic bridge between the two. Shared practice 3. Shadow reflection. Each partner identifies fears triggered by the other and brings these fears into light. Shared practice 4. Grounding rituals. Nature, movement, meditation, anything that rebalances the energy field. When both strengthen their energy, the connection becomes far less chaotic and far more harmonious. 6. Strengthening energetic boundaries. Healthy boundaries are essential. Not walls, not avoidance, not distance, but energetic clarity. Boundaries protect the connection instead of weakening it. Examples: pausing conversations when overwhelmed, not pushing for answers during soul shock, respecting retreat without panicking, communicating feelings without blaming, saying I need time to process this instead of reacting emotionally. Strong boundaries equals strong resilience equals stable connection. 7. Real-life example. How energy resilience transformed a twin flame dynamic. Anna and Lucas spent years in the runner-chaser cycle. Every time intimacy increased, Lucas withdrew. Anna reacted with panic, messages, and emotional intensity. But everything shifted when they committed to building resilience. Lucas practiced breathwork during emotional overwhelm, grounding exercises after intense connection, honest communication even when afraid. Anna practiced emotional neutrality during separation, grounding her heart energy, focusing on self-worth and self-growth. Over months, the frequency of retreats decreased, and the duration of separation shortened. Eventually, they reached a stable, mature connection built on resilience instead of fear. 8. When resilience leads to energetic harmonization. Once resilience is established, something extraordinary happens. Soul shock becomes less violent. Separation phases shorten. Communication improves. Emotional safety increases. Energy flows more smoothly. The runner stops fearing the connection. The chaser stops needing reassurance. Both embody higher frequency love. Harmony replaces chaos. Presence replaces panic. Clarity replaces confusion. Love becomes expansive rather than overwhelming. This is the beginning of true twin flame alignment. 9. Reflective questions. Ask yourself, am I reacting from fear or responding from grounded awareness? Am I strengthening my inner world or waiting for them to return? Which parts of this connection overwhelm me the most? Which personal wounds is this bond asking me to heal? How can I expand my energetic capacity today? Honest reflection is the cornerstone of resilience. 10. Resilience is the bridge to union. Soul shock may separate you, but energy resilience brings you back together. It is not the intensity of the connection that decides your destiny. It is your ability to hold that intensity, to breathe through it, to grow with it, to heal what it activates within you. When both runner and chaser rise into resilience, the connection transforms from a storm into a sanctuary. This is how twin flames evolve beyond fear into union, peace, and spiritual maturity. Healing in a twin flame journey is not linear. It never has been, and it never will be. Instead, it follows a spiral, repeating themes, returning wounds, recurring emotional triggers. At first, this pattern frustrates both runner and chaser. They often ask, why am I feeling this again? Didn't I heal this already? Why does the pain return right when things get better? The truth is simple. The twin flame journey requires profound purification, and purification happens layer by layer, not all at once. In this chapter, we explore the nature of the healing spiral, why it is essential for union, and how both souls can work within it, rather than fight against it. 1. The nature of the healing spiral. Healing in the twin flame connection is cyclical. Instead of going in a straight line from pain clarity union, the path looks more like pain insight peace deeper pain deeper insight deeper peace. Every time a wound resurfaces, it comes back at a deeper level, with new meaning, with more clarity, and with a higher purpose. This spiral model ensures that each soul heals not only past trauma but also karmic imprints, ancestral patterns, emotional blockages, and unconscious fears. Why a spiral? Because the soul does not heal through avoidance. It heals through revisiting. Each cycle brings a new opportunity to see what you could not see before, to feel what you avoided feeling, to release what you previously held on to grow where you used to shrink, to step into love where you once stepped into fear. Over time, the cycles become lighter, shorter, and gentler. Pain gives way to understanding. Understanding gives way to neutrality. Neutrality gives way to unconditional love. 2. Why wounds reappear even after healing. One of the most confusing aspects of the twin flame journey is the return of old wounds. People often think, I did the healing work. Why am I reliving this again? Because healing is not deletion. Healing is transformation. A wound has layers: the emotional layer, the energetic layer, the subconscious layer, the karmic layer, the physical nervous system layer. You might heal one layer, but deeper layers remain untouched until the proper time. Twin flames trigger these deeper layers precisely because their connection is designed to complete healing that other relationships could never reach. Example: you might heal the conscious fear of abandonment, but the subconscious fear, formed in early childhood, still exists. Or you might heal trauma from this lifetime, but past life wounds involving betrayal or loss remain. As the connection deepens, these deeper layers rise to the surface. 3. The runner and chaser in the healing spiral. Both runner and chaser move through the spiral, but at different rhythms and expressions. The runner's spiral. Runners often experience sudden emotional overwhelm, resurfacing fears of intimacy, old traumas triggered by deep closeness, a feeling of losing control, fear of being consumed or lost in the connection. They run not because they want distance, but because the returning wound feels too intense to face. The chaser's spiral. Chasers experience longing and emotional intensity, wounds around abandonment, fear of rejection, old insecurities resurfacing, anxiety when communication fades. They chase not because they are needy, but because the wound being reactivated pushes them toward closeness rather than away. The spiral is how both personalities heal opposing themes. Runner heals fear of intimacy. Chaser heals fear of separation. Runner heals avoidance. Chaser heals attachment. Runner learns presence. Chaser learns surrender. With each cycle, they grow more balanced and more alike. 4. The spiral as a tool of ascension. The healing spiral is not punishment. It is purification. Each time a wound resurfaces, it brings you closer to clarity, self-awareness, emotional maturity, energetic balance, unconditional love, soul alignment. The spiral is the mechanism through which the universe aligns you both with higher consciousness. Ascending through the spiral, each cycle builds on the previous one. Cycle 1, pain. Cycle 2, awareness. Cycle 3, understanding. Cycle 4, release. Cycle 5, integration. Cycle 6, embodiment. When both souls begin embodying love rather than chasing or fleeing from it, the spiral becomes a staircase leading to higher union. 5. The role of triggers in the healing spiral. Triggers are emotional earthquakes. They shake the system, break the illusion, and expose unconscious wounds. Most people hate triggers. Twin flames learn to honor them. Triggers reveal your deepest fears, the part of you that still needs healing, the truth beneath your reactions, where love still has room to grow. A trigger is not random. It's a message. Common twin flame triggers: silence, emotional distance, conflicting communication, intensity in physical proximity, jealousy or insecurity, misunderstandings, unexpected emotional reactions. Each trigger marks the beginning of a new healing cycle. 6 shadow phases of the healing spiral. Every spiral has a shadow phase, a moment when emotions peak, fear resurfaces, and the ego tries to regain control. During this phase, you may feel confused, overwhelmed, hurt, angry, abandoned, misunderstood, disconnected from yourself. But the shadow phase is not the end. It's the beginning of transformation. Shadow phases are necessary. They push both souls to release ego identities, shed outdated emotional patterns, acknowledge repressed truths, build resilience, as described in Chapter 6, detox karmic energy, integrate higher frequencies. Without shadow phases, there is no ascension. 7. Rising through the spiral, how to heal each cycle. Each time a wound resurfaces, respond consciously rather than react emotionally. Step 1. Observe without judgment. What is this emotion teaching me? Where is the real wound? Step 2. Feel without resistance. Resisting the emotion strengthens it. Allowing it weakens it. Step 3. Identify the root wound. Most wounds link to childhood or past life patterns. Step 4. Separate the runner/chaser from the wound. Your twin triggers it, but they did not create it. Step 5. Release the layer. Through grounding, meditation, journaling, or somatic practices. Step 6. Integrate the lesson. What part of me has grown? Step 7. Embody the new frequency. Shift your behavior and energy accordingly. Each successful cycle weakens the wound until it dissolves. 8. The healing spiral in union progress. As both souls evolve through cycles, the connection stabilizes. Indicators of progress include less intense triggers, shorter separation phases, deeper emotional safety, more honest communication, fewer misunderstandings, stronger spiritual awareness, reduced runner behavior, reduced chaser urgency, increasing neutrality and peace. Eventually, both souls outgrow the runner-chaser polarity altogether. They step into the next phase, energetic harmonization, followed by spiritual union, and eventually, physical union. 9. Real example. A spiral that led to breakthrough. Maya and Adrian experienced repeating cycles of closeness and withdrawal. Every time Adrian, runner, felt deep love, fear resurfaced. Every time Adrian withdrew, Maya's abandonment wound resurfaced. During one intense spiral, both hit a breaking point. But instead of repeating old patterns, Maya surrendered and stopped chasing. Adrian stayed present and stopped running. This single spiral transformed everything. They learned fear is temporary. Wounds are messages. Love requires presence. Connection requires resilience. It was not the end, but it was the first true breakthrough. 10. The spiral always brings you higher. The healing spiral is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of evolution. Each cycle brings deeper clarity, deeper healing, deeper awakening, deeper connection, deeper love. You are not going in circles. You are rising. Every return is a return for completion. Every pain is an invitation to expand. Every trigger is a door to liberation. Every spiral brings you closer to yourself, to your higher self, and to your twin flame. There is a moment in every twin flame journey when the runner reaches what feels like a breaking point. Not because the love is weak, not because they no longer care, but because the intensity has surpassed what their nervous system can comfortably hold. Chapter 8 dives deep into this battlefield. The internal war between desire and fear, love and self-defense, destiny and survival instincts. It is the war that few runners can articulate, yet nearly all of them experience. The collision of two realities. To truly understand what happens inside a runner, we must look at the two realities colliding within them. 1. The reality they built over years, stable, predictable, emotionally self-controlled. 2. The reality you ignite inside them. Unpredictable, raw, deeply emotional, spiritually charged. These two worlds cannot coexist peacefully. At least not at first. The runner feels torn between. I've built a life that feels safe. But this connection feels like truth. And truth is terrifying because it demands change. Because it demands surrender. Because it destroys everything that is false. The fear of losing control. Runners often come from backgrounds where emotional control was necessary for survival. Maybe they grew up in chaos. Maybe they learned to suppress emotions. Maybe vulnerability once led to betrayal, abandonment, or shame. So now when your presence triggers emotions they cannot suppress, they subconsciously react as if they are in danger. This is why they say things like, "This is too much. I don't know what's happening to me. I feel like I'm losing control." To them, losing control equals losing safety. In the twin flame connection, the runner perceives your energy as a force that reaches deep into their emotional core and exposes everything they spent years hiding, even from themselves. The activation of the survival brain. When your energy merges with theirs, the runner's brain doesn't interpret it as love. It interprets it as intensity equals threat. Here's what gets activated. The amygdala, which governs fear. The sympathetic nervous system, which prepares for fight or flight. The reptilian brain, which focuses only on survival. Their body literally reacts as if they must escape to survive. This is why their avoidance seems irrational. It is irrational from a logical standpoint, but it is completely coherent from a neurological one. The love is not what scares them. The loss of emotional control does. The inner dialogue they never admit out loud. Inside the runner, there is a desperate, chaotic dialogue, one they will never speak. Why do I feel this strongly? Why do they see right through me? If they see the real me, will they still stay? What if I fail them? What if this destroys my life as I know it? Why does this feel like destiny and disaster at the same time? Your presence makes them confront their shadows, insecurities, emotional wounds, fear of intimacy, fear of abandonment, fear of inadequacy. In meeting you, they meet every part of themselves they have avoided for years. You are not the threat. Their unhealed self is. But because you're the mirror, they subconsciously blame you for the emotional storm they feel inside. The paradox. They run because they love you too much. One of the most misunderstood truths in twin flame dynamics is this. Runners run not because their love is weak, but because it is overwhelmingly strong. It violates their personal rules. It shatters their emotional boundaries. It forces them to feel more than they have in a lifetime. This creates an internal split. I want them, but it's safer to stay away. I need them, but I don't want to depend on anyone. I feel alive with them, but I might fall apart with them too. It is a tug of war between the soul that recognizes you and the ego that fears you. The fear of being seen. No one sees the runner the way you do. You see their potential. You see their soul. You see the fragile soft core behind the armor. This terrifies them. Because being seen means being vulnerable. Being vulnerable means being hurt. And being hurt is the one thing they promised themselves would never happen again. For most runners, the twin flame connection is the first time someone has ever noticed their pain, understood their silence, connected with their inner truth, loved them without conditions. This is heaven to the soul, but a threat to the wound. And the wound often wins, at least in the early stages. The ego's last stand. When the soul recognizes you, it tries to merge. But the ego tries to resist this merging with all its strength. The ego says, "Protect yourself. Don't trust this. You don't deserve something this intense. They will leave you eventually. Stay safe. Pull away." So the runner's body and psyche launch a defense mechanism. A last attempt to preserve the old identity, the old life, the old emotional boundaries. This is not a conscious choice. It is reflex. Like pulling your hand away from fire, instantly, automatically, uncontrollably. Even if they want to stay. Even if leaving breaks them. The pain of running. Most people believe the runner feels relief when they escape. The truth? Running hurts them more than staying. But running is a pain they understand. Staying is a pain they cannot control. The runner experiences emptiness, guilt, confusion, longing, insomnia, emotional shutdown, spiritual detachment, physical symptoms, heart tightness, nausea, exhaustion. Their escape gives them physical distance, but not energetic distance. The connection follows them into their dreams, their thoughts, their body. Running keeps them alive emotionally, but just barely. It is a survival mode, not a solution. The turning point. When avoidance stops working. Eventually, something shifts in the runner's internal world. Avoiding you no longer protects them. Suppressing their feelings stops working. Ignoring the signs becomes impossible. The soul pushes harder. Synchronicities intensify. Dreams become vivid. Triggers become lessons. Pain transforms into clarity. There comes a moment when the runner realizes, "I am not escaping them. I am escaping myself." And that is the beginning of their awakening. Not a reunion yet. Not a return. But the first crack in the ego's armor. The first moment they see the truth beneath the fear. The internal war of the runner is not a rejection of the connection. It is a rejection of the parts of themselves that don't feel ready for it. They are not running from you. They are running from the love they don't yet know how to hold. But every step away is also a step toward awakening. This chapter is the doorway to understanding what the runner must face before reunion becomes possible. In the twin flame journey, soul shock is often the unseen force that dictates the rhythm of connection. For chasers, it can feel like an invisible wall suddenly appears between you and your runner. One moment everything seems aligned. The next, your runner withdraws, emotionally or physically, leaving you desperate, confused, and questioning everything. Understanding soul shock is essential, not just to follow or chase, but to respond wisely, maintain your own energetic balance, and prepare the pathway for eventual union. This chapter explores the signs, nuances, and responses of soul shock, with practical guidance for chasers navigating the turbulence. 1. What is soul shock? A recap for chasers. Soul shock is an intense energetic reaction triggered within the runner, and sometimes in the chaser, when the twin flame bond activates dormant fears, trauma, or unprocessed emotions. It's not merely emotional. It's physiological, neurological, and energetic. Common characteristics of soul shock in the runner: sudden withdrawal or avoidance, emotional shutdown or numbness, anxiety, panic, or irritability. Physical symptoms: restlessness, heart palpitations, fatigue, reluctance to communicate or engage. For chasers, it can feel like being pushed away just as you feel closest, creating a complex emotional response. Confusion, sadness, or even desperation. The key for chasers is recognition, not reaction. 2. External signs of soul shock in the runner. Chasers often rely on behavior to understand the runner's state. Common external signs include: 1. Communication changes. Suddenly shorter or delayed replies. Avoiding deep conversations. Cancellation of plans without clear reasons. 2. Physical withdrawal. avoiding proximity, limited physical touch, retreating to personal space. 3. Behavioral contradictions, one moment affectionate, the next distant, expressing care but immediately creating space, seeming confused about feelings or actions. 4. Defensive reactions, irritability over minor issues, overreacting to neutral situations, avoiding vulnerability at all costs. While these signs can feel painful, they are not rejections of love. Instead, they are the runner's subconscious attempt to regulate overwhelming energy. 3. Internal signs, reading the energy behind the behavior. Chasers can also develop sensitivity to the runner's energy, learning to feel soul shock beyond physical behaviors. Internal signs include energy pull or push, feeling a sudden distance or repelling force when connecting energetically. Emotional mirrors, feeling anxiety, fear, or restlessness reflected from the runner. Nervous system mirroring, your heart races or tension increases when the runner is experiencing soul shock. Intuitive signals, knowing something is off even if the runner appears fine externally. Recognizing these internal signs allows the chaser to respond consciously instead of reacting emotionally, which is vital for the dynamic to stabilize. 4. The chaser's emotional response. Many chasers experience urge to chase, desire to fix or reassure, emotional overwhelm, self-doubt or guilt, panic about losing connection. The challenge is that these reactions amplify the runner's stress. When the chaser mirrors panic or desperation, the runner's nervous system interprets it as additional pressure, escalating the soul shock. Hence, the first lesson is self-regulation before response. 5. Grounding and energetic stability for the chaser. When the runner is in soul shock, the chaser's energy field can either escalate tension or restore calm. The difference is in grounded presence. Practical technique. 1. Breath awareness. Slow, deep, rhythmic breathing reduces fight or flight response in both chaser and runner. 2. Energetic anchoring. Visualize roots extending from your body into the earth. Imagine drawing strength and calm from this connection. 3. Heart-centered focus. Place your hand over your heart, breathe in love and exhale calm. This stabilizes your heart chakra and reduces urgency. 4. Mindful observation. Notice the behaviors or energetic signals without judgment or interpretation. They are withdrawing. I notice this without panic or blame. 5. Self-care first. The chaser cannot carry the runner's intensity alone. Adequate sleep, nutrition, and emotional release are essential. By maintaining grounded energy, chasers become safe space holders, which paradoxically helps the runner return faster from soul shock. 6. Supporting without enabling. One of the most challenging aspects for chasers is finding the balance between support and overinvestment. Too much pressure can worsen soul shock. Too little care may trigger feelings of neglect. Strategies include active listening instead of fixing. Respond with presence, not advice. Example: I hear you. Take the time you need. Boundaries with love. Be clear about your availability without creating pressure. Example: I respect your space. I'm here when you're ready. Energy awareness. Avoid projecting your fears or urgency onto the runner. Patience as an act of love. Recognize that healing is a process. Your calm presence is more valuable than attempts to force a response. 7. Communication during soul shock. Communication can either bridge or widen the gap. Key principles. 1. Use neutral, non-triggering language. Avoid phrases like, "Why are you doing this?" or "Don't run from me." Instead, "I understand you need space. I respect that." 2. Keep energy light but present. Send short, loving messages or intentions without demanding interaction. 3. Affirm emotional safety. Statements like, "You can feel what you feel. I won't judge or abandon you." 4. Avoid overanalyzing or overtexting. Silence can be supportive when energy is overwhelming. 8. Understanding the runner's fear. Soul shock in the runner often stems from fear. Fear of emotional overload. Fear of losing autonomy or identity. Fear of being unworthy of love. Fear of past wounds repeating. Chasers must recognize that the runner's actions are fear-driven, not love-driven. This distinction helps the chaser respond with compassion instead of reaction. 9. Energy techniques to harmonize the connection. Chasers can actively influence the energetic field in ways that reduce soul shock. Visualization. Picture the runner surrounded by calm, protective energy. Prayer or intention. Intend for the runner to feel safe and grounded. Heart coherence practices. Synchronize breath with heart energy while sending loving intention. Mirror meditation. Mentally hold the runner's energy as part of your field without merging, acknowledging their autonomy while providing energetic support. These practices don't force the runner to stay or return. They create energetic conditions that reduce overwhelm. 10. Recognizing signs of recovery. Chasers can notice when soul shock begins to resolve. Runner becomes more communicative. Energy feels warmer or lighter. Emotional intensity decreases. Presence and eye contact return. Openness to vulnerability increases. These signs indicate that the energetic barrier is softening, and the runner is ready for gradual reconnection. 11. Real-life example. Consider the journey of Ava, chaser, and Leo, runner. Leo would withdraw after moments of emotional closeness, leaving Ava anxious. She practiced grounding daily, visualizing his calm return, and sent brief, loving intentions. Instead of texting incessantly, she honored space while maintaining energetic awareness. Over weeks, Leo began opening up again, sharing his fear without fleeing. Her presence became a stabilizing factor, transforming repeated soul shock cycles into shorter, more manageable phases. Soul shock is not a personal failure for the runner or the chaser. It is the natural energy correction of the twin flame connection. For chasers, recognize the signs early. Maintain your own energetic balance. Respect the runner's space. Support with presence, not pressure. Use every withdrawal as a lesson in patience, empathy, and resilience. The more you master these responses, the more stable, harmonious, and accelerated your path to union becomes. Remember, the twin flame connection is an energetic dance, not a linear journey. Soul shock is part of the rhythm, and understanding it is the key to dancing gracefully. The journey of a twin flame is not complete without reunion, but reunion is not a single moment of coincidence. It is a complex energetic alignment that requires both souls to be ready, individually and together. After soul shock, both the runner and chaser carry residual trauma, energetic imbalances, and emotional wounds. Understanding the mechanics of reunion can help the connection stabilize and blossom into true union. In this chapter, we will explore the process, signs, and practical steps for reunion, as well as the internal transformations required for both souls. 1. Reunion as an energetic alignment. Reunion is more than physical presence or communication. It is energetic synchronization. The runner's nervous system must stabilize so they can stay present without fear. The chaser's energy must remain grounded, neutral, and non-controlling. Both souls must have processed previous triggers, so reunion is based on love, not unmet needs or fears. Reunion is the point where two energy fields merge without conflict, creating a resonance of trust, intimacy, and shared purpose. Energetic precondition. Before reunion occurs, emotional wounds must be recognized and partially healed. Shadow aspects must be acknowledged and integrated. Soul patterns causing repetitive running or chasing must loosen. Intuition, empathy, and presence must stabilize. Without these conditions, reunion may be temporary or unstable, leading to repeated cycles of withdrawal. 2. The role of soul shock in preparation for reunion. Soul shock may feel painful, chaotic, or even destructive, but it serves a preparatory purpose. 1. Purging old energy. Soul shock triggers unresolved emotions, forcing both souls to release attachments and fears. 2. Heightening awareness. The intensity of separation or avoidance draws attention to patterns that need change. 3. Strengthening boundaries. Both chaser and runner learn self-regulation, essential for stable union. 4. Increasing energy sensitivity. After soul shock, both souls become more aware of each other's energetic states, which allows for more conscious connection. Think of soul shock as a storm. It may tear down old structures, but it clears space for new growth. 3 signs that both souls are ready for reunion. Reunion does not happen at will. It occurs when both energetic and emotional conditions are met. Signs include: for the runner, emotional responses are calmer and more stable. Triggers from the chaser no longer provoke immediate withdrawal. Willingness to communicate openly about fears. Desire to remain present, even when emotions are intense. Recognition that love is not a threat. For the chaser, ability to remain grounded and non-reactive. Reduce compulsive need to chase or control. Patience in waiting without anxiety or resentment. Confidence in their own emotional and energetic autonomy. Compassion for the runner without sacrificing boundaries. For both, energy fields resonate in similar frequencies. Emotional communication flows with honesty and vulnerability. Mutual recognition of soul growth and evolution. Acceptance of imperfection and shadow aspects. When these conditions are present, reunion becomes not just possible but sustainable. 4. The process of energetic harmonization. Energetic harmonization is the internal synchronization of 2 souls. It occurs in stages. Stage 1. Resonance detection. Each soul senses the other's frequency. This may appear as intuitive knowing, spontaneous emotional empathy, physical sensations when thinking of or being near each other, shared dreams or visions. At this stage, both souls are tuning into each other without expectation, allowing the natural pull of resonance to guide interactions. Stage 2. Emotional alignment. Here, both souls start acknowledging and regulating emotional responses. Triggers are met with awareness rather than reaction. Emotional transparency increases. Past fears are discussed calmly. Compassion replaces judgment. This stage often requires intentional practices such as meditation, journaling, or guided energetic work. Stage 3. Behavioral synchronization. Behavior begins to reflect internal harmonization. Interactions feel effortless and natural. Both can maintain space without panic. Trust is reinforced through consistency. Physical and energetic presence is aligned with emotional readiness. At this stage, the connection is no longer controlled by fear or ego, but by conscious choice and soul-level recognition. 5. Practical steps for chasers to facilitate reunion. Chasers play a vital role in supporting reunion without forcing it. Practical approaches include: 1. Energetic self-mastery. Meditate daily to stabilize your energy. Maintain a calm, grounded presence. 2. Clear intentions without attachment. Set intentions for reunion without controlling the outcome. Focus on creating a safe energetic field for both. 3. Emotional self-regulation. Avoid reacting to withdrawal with anxiety. Use triggers as lessons to deepen self-awareness. 4. Non-intrusive communication. Send loving, supportive messages without expectation. Offer reassurance without creating dependence. 5. Focus on your own growth. Continue personal spiritual, emotional, and energetic development. The chaser's evolution directly influences the stability of reunion. 6. Practical steps for runners. Runners must navigate fear and reclaim presence. 1. Acknowledge internal fear. Recognize fear of intimacy or vulnerability without self-judgment. 2. Stabilize your nervous system. Grounding exercises, breathwork, and somatic release. Avoid emotional suppression as a coping mechanism. 3. Energetic awareness. Sense the chaser's energy without over-identifying or reacting. Practice conscious merging rather than unconscious avoidance. 4. Communicate with honesty. Share fears and emotional states openly. Maintain consistency to rebuild trust. 5. Self-compassion. Understand that retreating is part of the healing process. Celebrate small steps toward presence. 7. Handling residual shadow work together. Even after soul shock, remnants of unresolved wounds may appear. True reunion involves mutual shadow integration, accepting each other's flaws and past patterns, energetic cleansing, regular practice of clearing stagnant energy, compassionate accountability, holding space for growth without blame, balanced boundaries, respecting autonomy while fostering connection. This creates a foundation where union is safe, conscious, and sustainable. 8. Deepening connection after reunion. Once the initial energetic alignment is achieved, intimacy is experienced on multiple levels: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Communication becomes intuitive and effortless. Mutual support strengthens personal and spiritual growth. Synchronization of life purpose becomes clearer. Shared experiences deepen trust, understanding, and love. Union now exists beyond dependency or fear, rooted in soul-level recognition. 9 signs of a lasting, harmonized union. Both souls respond to triggers with presence rather than reaction. Emotional intensity becomes manageable and conscious. Energetic merging feels natural, fluid, and balanced. Love is expressed without attachment, fear, or control. Spiritual growth accelerates for both souls. Separation cycles either disappear or become short and constructive. Lasting union is not just about being together physically, it is about being aligned energetically and emotionally permanently. 10. Final reflections. Reunion after soul shock is the culmination of the twin flame journey. Yet it is also the beginning of a new phase. The connection transforms from reactive to conscious. Each soul steps fully into self-mastery. Love becomes a force of healing, not chaos. Life purpose and soul mission emerge in alignment with union. Chasers and runners alike must remember: soul shock is temporary. Withdrawal is a signal, not a rejection. Presence, patience, and compassion create the conditions for reunion. Union requires both independence and interdependence. True reunion is energetic, emotional, and spiritual, not just physical. Reunion is the reward for growth, patience, and energetic mastery. It is the point where two souls meet, healed, balanced, and fully awake, ready to walk their shared path in love, harmony, and purpose. The journey of a twin flame is not complete without reunion, but reunion is not a single moment of coincidence. It is a complex energetic alignment that requires both souls to be ready, individually and together. After soul shock, both the runner and chaser carry residual trauma, energetic imbalances, and emotional wounds. Understanding the mechanics of reunion can help the connection stabilize and blossom into true union. In this chapter, we will explore the process, signs, and practical steps for reunion, as well as the internal transformations required for both souls. 1. Reunion as an energetic alignment. Reunion is more than physical presence or communication. It is energetic synchronization. The runner's nervous system must stabilize so they can stay present without fear. The chaser's energy must remain grounded, neutral, and non-controlling. Both souls must have processed previous triggers, so reunion is based on love, not unmet needs or fears. Reunion is the point where two energy fields merge without conflict, creating a resonance of trust, intimacy, and shared purpose. Energetic precondition. Before reunion occurs, emotional wounds must be recognized and partially healed. Shadow aspects must be acknowledged and integrated. Soul patterns causing repetitive running or chasing must loosen. Intuition, empathy, and presence must stabilize. Without these conditions, reunion may be temporary or unstable, leading to repeated cycles of withdrawal. 2. The role of soul shock in preparation for reunion. Soul shock may feel painful, chaotic, or even destructive, but it serves a preparatory purpose. 1. Purging old energy. Soul shock triggers unresolved emotions, forcing both souls to release attachments and fears. 2. Heightening awareness. The intensity of separation or avoidance draws attention to patterns that need change. 3. Strengthening boundaries. Both chaser and runner learn self-regulation, essential for stable union. 4. Increasing energy sensitivity. After soul shock, both souls become more aware of each other's energetic states, which allows for more conscious connection. Think of soul shock as a storm. It may tear down old structures, but it clears space for new growth. 3 signs that both souls are ready for reunion. Reunion does not happen at will. It occurs when both energetic and emotional conditions are met. Signs include: for the runner, emotional responses are calmer and more stable. Triggers from the chaser no longer provoke immediate withdrawal. Willingness to communicate openly about fears. Desire to remain present even when emotions are intense. Recognition that love is not a threat. For the chaser, ability to remain grounded and non-reactive. Reduce compulsive need to chase or control. Patience in waiting without anxiety or resentment. Confidence in their own emotional and energetic autonomy. Compassion for the runner without sacrificing boundaries. For both, energy fields resonate in similar frequencies. Emotional communication flows with honesty and vulnerability. Mutual recognition of soul growth and evolution. Acceptance of imperfection and shadow aspects. When these conditions are present, reunion becomes not just possible but sustainable. 4. The process of energetic harmonization. Energetic harmonization is the internal synchronization of two souls. It occurs in stages. Stage 1. Resonance detection. Each soul senses the other's frequency. This may appear as intuitive knowing, spontaneous emotional empathy, physical sensations when thinking of or being near each other, shared dreams or visions. At this stage, both souls are tuning into each other without expectation, allowing the natural pull of resonance to guide interactions. Stage 2. Emotional alignment. Here, both souls start acknowledging and regulating emotional responses. Triggers are met with awareness rather than reaction. Emotional transparency increases. Past fears are discussed calmly. Compassion replaces judgment. This stage often requires intentional practices such as meditation, journaling, or guided energetic work. Stage 3. Behavioral synchronization. Behavior begins to reflect internal harmonization. Interactions feel effortless and natural. Both can maintain space without panic. Trust is reinforced through consistency. Physical and energetic presence is aligned with emotional readiness. At this stage, the connection is no longer controlled by fear or ego, but by conscious choice and soul-level recognition. 5. Practical steps for chasers to facilitate reunion. Chasers play a vital role in supporting reunion without forcing it. Practical approaches include 1. Energetic self-mastery. Meditate daily to stabilize your energy. Maintain a calm, grounded presence. 2. Clear intentions without attachment. Set intentions for reunion without controlling the outcome. Focus on creating a safe energetic field for both. 3. Emotional self-regulation. Avoid reacting to withdrawal with anxiety. Use triggers as lessons to deepen self-awareness. 4. Non-intrusive communication. Send loving, supportive messages without expectation. Offer reassurance without creating dependence. 5. Focus on your own growth. Continue personal spiritual, emotional, and energetic development. The chaser's evolution directly influences the stability of reunion. 6. Practical steps for runners. Runners must navigate fear and reclaim presence. 1. Acknowledge internal fear. Recognize fear of intimacy or vulnerability without self-judgment. 2. Stabilize your nervous system. Grounding exercises, breathwork, and somatic release. Avoid emotional suppression as a coping mechanism. 3. Energetic awareness. Sense the chaser's energy without over-identifying or reacting. Practice conscious merging rather than unconscious avoidance. 4. Communicate with honesty. Share fears and emotional states openly. Maintain consistency to rebuild trust. 5. Self-compassion. Understand that retreating is part of the healing process. Celebrate small steps toward presence. 7. Handling residual shadow work together. Even after soul shock, remnants of unresolved wounds may appear. True reunion involves mutual shadow integration, accepting each other's flaws and past patterns. Energetic cleansing, regular practice of clearing stagnant energy. Compassionate accountability, holding space for growth without blame. Balance boundaries, respecting autonomy while fostering connection. This creates a foundation where union is safe, conscious, and sustainable. 8. Deepening connection after reunion. Once the initial energetic alignment is achieved, intimacy is experienced on multiple levels. physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Communication becomes intuitive and effortless. Mutual support strengthens personal and spiritual growth. Synchronization of life purpose becomes clearer. Shared experiences deepen trust, understanding, and love. Union now exists beyond dependency or fear, rooted in soul-level recognition. 9 signs of a lasting, harmonized union. Both souls respond to triggers with presence rather than reaction. Emotional intensity becomes manageable and conscious. Energetic merging feels natural, fluid, and balanced. Love is expressed without attachment, fear, or control. Spiritual growth accelerates for both souls. Separation cycles either disappear or become short and constructive. Lasting union is not just about being together physically, it is about being aligned energetically and emotionally permanently. 10. Final reflections. Reunion after soul shock is the culmination of the twin flame journey. Yet it is also the beginning of a new phase. The connection transforms from reactive to conscious. Each soul steps fully into self-mastery. Love becomes a force of healing, not chaos. Life purpose and soul mission emerge in alignment with union. Chasers and runners alike must remember. Soul shock is temporary. Withdrawal is a signal, not a rejection. Presence, patience, and compassion create the conditions for reunion. Union requires both independence and interdependence. True reunion is energetic, emotional, and spiritual, not just physical. Reunion is the reward for growth, patience, and energetic mastery. It is the point where two souls meet, healed, balanced, and fully awake, ready to walk their shared path in love, harmony, and purpose.